What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cracking Hunters.
I am Anubis,
Yep, you know me. I'm Carolina Hitman.
and we are going to continue our tales from the other side.
Tales from the other side. We got another story to tell y'all today. I'm interested in because this is another Anubis story. So I'm interested in this one, and this one is entitled "The Random Urn." So I'm curious to hear what it sounds. Interesting.
A random urn.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear this story.
So, we all know that I worked as a funeral director for quite a while. And, there's a whole bunch of stories to tell with just that job in general.
I can imagine dealing with dead people on a daily basis.
This one kind of comes out to me, and it's like, it really stands out for me. But this was kind of a really long, drawn out kind of deal. Not like in the length of the story, but still. So what happened was I was just, hanging out at the funeral home. I'm dressed in my suit, wearing my tie. Of course, we didn't have nothing going on that day, so I'm just basically hanging out.
So no one died.
Yeah, I'm just basically just hanging out watching YouTube, kind of a deal. And this was back in like 2013. But like, I'm just sitting, hanging out, and I see a cop pull up, which that ain't no big deal. That happens all the time. They always got some shit to do. And we had a cop that lived actually in the apartments behind us. So seeing random police just show up, but this one was actually a county sheriff. And
usually the dicks of the bunch.
Well, maybe. But anyway, this guy was kind of weird. Well, he wasn't kind of weird. He's actually kind of a cool guy. He came up and he was like, and I'm the only person there, by the way.
So not even your boss is there.
No, I'm literally, I'm there to answer the phone, and if we got a body to pick up, dude, I got to call him and be like, dude, we both need to go and do this. But like, I'm just there by myself, just hanging out at the funeral home, doing my job, watching YouTube. And then this cop shows up and he's like, I have a question for you. And I was like, okay. What? Well, I have this urn. It's like, well, yeah. He's like, and tag, you're it.
What? That's what he says, tag, you're it?
Yeah. He had no idea what to do with it. He said, well, tag, you're it. He hands me this, literally, it's just an urn. It's just a black box with human remains inside of it.
Like ashes, but
No, yeah.
Ashes. Oh, yeah.
Cremains, that's what they're called.
Okay.
But he hands me this box, and I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do?
Yeah, right. That's the correct response.
He was like, well, I found that a family moved into this house, and they found this urn. And they didn't know who it was.
All right. I want to pause.
Okay.
Do you know how much a family has not to give a fuck about the person in that box to just move and leave it?
Yeah.
Like, they had to not give that much of a fuck about that person.
Yeah, no, and tag, and I'm it. So I'm like, okay, so first things first. I say, okay, I'm holding this box, this urn, which, literally, it's just a basic urn that the funeral home gives you. You get the badass vase and shit like that free, like you order it.
So that lets me know further how much they didn't give a fuck.
They just gave me this fucking plastic black box, and I'm like, I'm not.
Oh my god, it was plastic. It wasn't even wood or anything.
No, it's just a plastic black box. It's that
family gave two
urn.
fucks about that person in that box.
It didn't even have a fucking label on it,
Oh
man.
my god,
to say the name. So I'm holding this. I'm like, okay. The thing that I'm thinking is, I'm thinking, how old is this box? Then I'm thinking, okay, where the fuck did you get this? I asked the cop, I said, all right, dude, since I'm it, what, give me the address of the residence you got this box from, this urn. So he came in and he wrote it down. He wrote down me the address, and then he was like, well, that's all I got. See you.
Oh my god.
I was like, well, shit. My first thing, when you get an urn, right? Nowadays, they put a token in the ashes.
Mm-hmm.
And this token, it has an order number and a serial number on it, right?
Learn something new every day.
Yeah. Well, my first thing is okay, I'm going to go to the crematory. Because that way we can spread out the ashes of this person. And now, it's not just ashes. It's also bone shards.
Ugh.
Because, bones don't really burn.
Right.
So I had to grind these bones up. But anyway. So I take it to our crematory. Then I'm like, all right, guys, I got this. We're going to have to spread this out. We're going to have to find out who the fuck this is. So we poured out all the ashes, 8 pounds of ashes. And bone, 8 pounds of ashes and bone shards.
Holy shit.
Well, you got to think, dude. Human remains, human cremains are heavier than like cardboard boxes and shit like
Right.
that. So we spread out 8 pounds worth of ashes and bone shards onto a table. There's not a token.
Oh my God.
Not a token at all. So I'm like, well, now this is fucked up.
My God. They gave no fucks about the person in that box.
Exactly.
None.
Not one fuck was given.
None.
Not one.
Like, they didn't even get a partial fuck. They didn't even give that. They gave no fucks whatsoever.
No fucks were given that day at all. So I'm like, okay, I have another idea. My idea was I had to go back to the funeral home and work, and I had to call my boss. So I call my boss. I get back to work, and I still got the urn, the same box, everything, same plastic bag, everything. And I call my boss. I'm like, so sheriff came up, and he was like, dude, here's this urn. I took it up to the crematory. There's no token. There's no anything that tells me who's in this fucking box. Nobody. There's no way to know. I was like,
wait. First of all, did you have to scrape the ashes back off the table and put it back in the box?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Well, I mean, you thought. That's part of the deal.
I'd have been like, well, there you go.
Can't do that. Human ashes are too heavy to
Oh,
blow.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
How do you?
So I can't even blow shit. Oh, wow.
You can't even like. How do you think they get to where it's no like cardboard ashes or anything like that? Wooden ashes. They just take a fucking compressed air and just blow all the other excess stuff, and there you go. You got human ashes because it's too heavy to blow away.
Right.
From like a certain pressure. But so we take all, like, I get back to work and I'm like, man, so this is what I got. I've got the address of where the fucking urn was found. And I'm like, okay. So I called every single realty company.
Holy shit, you're going through this
In
much.
the yeah.
So basically, what you're telling me, you're giving more of a fuck than the people who actually cremated him. That's what you're going through more trouble than they did. They said throw his ass in a box, burn him up, and put him in here. And fuck him. We just have him. You're giving that's what you're doing. You're giving more of a fuck than they did.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it showed up. I mean, I have nothing else to do that day. Might as well be detective for a minute, So I call every realty company asking about this house. Well, I found out. I found the family who lived there last. Well, the family who lived there last had never been part of a cremation.
What?
They lived there 15 years.
Are you fucking telling me?
With an urn there. And never realized that there was human cremains in their house.
Are you fucking telling me right now that they weren't even curious what was in the box?
They didn't know the box was there.
How the fuck did you live in a house 15 years and not know a box full of a dead person's ashes are in there? How the fuck do you do that?
I don't know.
What?
I guess they just don't like to explore their house. because I guess it was in the attic or something.
I'm not gonna lie. You really make me want to search the fuck out of my house right now to make sure there's nothing in here. Because you really make me want to do that.
I'm telling you, that's the first thing I do.
Holy shit!
When I move into a house, that is the first thing I do is I fucking search that motherfucker from top to bottom.
I look too, but now I want to really check everything.
Dude, I go to the attic and everything.
I ain't go.
Dude, I crawl through fucking fiberglass, fucking insulation.
I don't blame you.
I find everything.
Damn.
Because I mean, you never know when there's a fucking pile of bones.
You never know when there's a dead fucking thing of ashes in there of somebody who's lived there before.
So I get a hold of that family.
Holy shit, man! I'm in awe right now.
And they're like, "What?" I was like, "Oh yeah, that urn that was in your house. We've never cremated anybody. We're Jewish." It's like,
oh my God, this holy fucking shit.
I was like,
the irony in this shit, right? A Jewish family
with cremated remains.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, okay, do you think you could tell me who lived in that house before you did? And, of course, I don't know, for some reason they had the name of everybody who lived in that house before. Well, just the one family before them, they had the name, right? And I was like, okay. So I contact that family. They're like, oh yeah, well, I contact the other family, and they're like, yeah, we had a uncle cremated. I was like, do you have him? And they're like, no.
Oh my God.
Maybe. Let's go look around. So they looked around.
They
had to call me back.
Oh, are you legitimately telling me? Are you telling me right now with a straight face that they had to go look to make sure the uncle they burned and cremated? They had to go verify whether or not they still had him.
Yeah. No, they had to actually. All right, let me call you back. What's your number? So I gave them my number, and I was like, okay. And they hung up. 45 minutes later, it took them 45 minutes. They actually, I guess they did some searching, and they called me. Oh yeah, well, we don't have him. And I was like, oh, well, I think I do. Which I can't really verify that I did.
Right, exactly.
Because
I have a dead guy, you're missing a dead guy, so let's put two and two together.
And they're like, well, they asked me what I want to do. I'm like, well,
see, they are reinforcing my belief. They didn't give a fuck about their uncle. Now that I know it's uncle.
I know. It's like they didn't even give a shit. And I was like, well, I want to give him back.
Why the fuck would they think you want to keep him? First of all,
I don't know. I guess it's just because it's just as odd as the way you're thinking. Like,
I swear, man. Oh my goodness.
So I'm like, well, I want to give him back to y'all. And they're like, oh, okay. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, who the fuck is this fucking guy?
Right.
How can you die and nobody gives that much? He must have been fucking some kind of fucked up dude or something. So I'm like, okay. My first thing that I think of after they're like, okay, well, where are you located? And I told them about the funeral home. And they're like, okay, well, we'll be there in about 30 minutes. In that 30 minutes, the first thing that I do is I draw up a paper saying that once they take these cremains, it's out of my hands.
Right. Oh, you're playing tag. Tag, you're it now.
Yeah, except my shit's legally binding. And, my boss is a notary.
You have a lawyer's tag.
Yeah, no, my boss is a notary. So he fucking stamped that shit. You know what I'm saying? I said, when they came up, I handed them the urn, and they're like, I think this is right.
Oh my.
Like, motherfucker. I was like, well, okay, so I need you to sign here, here, and here. And tag you're it.
Right.
And that's basically my whole ordeal with the
random urn. Who the fuck? To my guys and girls, I'm sorry. Like I'm just speechless, and I apologize for the use of fuck so much. But this is the only word that justifies, like that really. Who the fuck loses a urn full of cremated remains, and then has no enthusiasm or like, do you want to keep it? I'm like, no, this is yours. You need to take it. Like,
what the hell am I gonna do with it?
This dude had to been this.
Ain't nobody
I don't even know what to say
about this guy. Nobody cared about him.
Like in the beginning of the story, towards the middle, that's why I said they couldn't have to give two fucks about that dude. You don't just lose an urn of ashes.
I know, right?
When you move, first of all, when you move, you're packing up shit. So they had to perfectly just bypass that urn. I'm like, well, fuck it, let's leave it for the next person. I'm amazed, not just at them, at the next family who lived there for 15 years and did not know there was a cremated
remain.
Yes, in their house with them the entire time.
You should have seen the look on my face the entire time.
Probably the same look I've had throughout this entire story. It's like
just
of confusion and
amazement.
Exactly.
I had no idea what to say to anybody.
Who what? I found this dead person. Is it yours? That's that's basically what you're calling and asking them.
I mean, I did it super professional. I was pretty proud.
Right.
I was really proud of myself when I did. I called.
Knowing you two, I'm proud too because I know you. Yeah.
Remember, I was a public servant for a long time.
Oh my goodness, man! I don't. Oh my God, I don't even know what to say after hearing this shit, man. I didn't even know it was possible to lose cremated remains.
Dude, you wouldn't believe it.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sure you would now, but
yeah, I mean, like I said, you make me want to search the fuck out of my house really well.
Yeah, you should. That's the first thing I do whenever I move into a place, dude. I am top to fucking bottom.
I can see why.
And everything, dude.
After that experience, I don't blame you.
Shit.
Oh my goodness.
I fully encourage to everybody who's listening to this.
PSA.
Search your fucking house. You never know what you're gonna find.
Apparently not, man. Like oh my goodness, man. That's. I don't even know what to say. I really don't. Oh my goodness.
You may find a Mona Lisa. You never know.
You never know.
You
may find a dead person in your house. Yeah, that's been burned to death. Well, burned up.
Or actually, you might find a dead person that's been burned to death in your house.
Oh yeah.
Or just a pile of bones. You never know.
That's fucking ridiculous. I'm in awe of this story. I wanted to laugh, but at the same time, I'm like in such awe and amazement that this could even be a story to begin with. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, imagine how it was when
it's actually happening to you.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to do with this? He said, tag, you're it. I'm like,
yeah, man.
Damn it.
Which further reinforces my belief that county cops are dicks. Yeah.
No, this was a sheriff.
So I'm saying
a
sheriff, which further enforces my belief that sheriffs are dicks.
They are.
Yeah. No offense to any sheriff out there listening right now. Not all of you, but as a whole, y'all are dicks.
I hope you really enjoyed this.
Oh man.
It's been one that I've been wanting to talk about, but my wife thinks it's kind of sad.
It is.
I think it's hilarious.
It's hilarious and sad at the same time. That's literally what it is. Hilarious, sad, confusing. It's so many adjectives that can describe this story right now that we can spend another 5 minutes just using adjectives to describe the story.
Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check your house's attic, basement, whatever.
Oh my goodness.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, please do, everybody. Yeah. Check your house right now to make sure you have a random urn in your house.
And don't bring it to me because I'm not going to do that.
All right, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoyed this story, man. I don't even know. I'm at a loss for words. We've been drinking, and that's that. I don't even know what to say. But thanks for joining us on this story right now, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe, man. Hit that notification button to get notified of our future videos, podcasts, and
Tales from the Other Side.
But thanks for joining us today, everybody. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.